What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys in a video, and today we're doing What If Roshi Raised Goku Part 2. If you haven't seen the first part, make sure you go and watch it before this one. But without further ado, let's jump into today's video. After departing from the Tenkaichi with the quest to get stronger, Goku would be at a loss on where to go. He'd want to get stronger for next time as he had a lot of fun, plus he doesn't really feel like losing next time. So training just along the land wouldn't give the gains that he needs to get stronger. So, he reminisces about the stories Roshi told him when he was younger, about his various masters, remembering how he trained under Master Korin. Goku then set off to train under him. It would take a small while, but he'd eventually make it to Korin's. There he'd meet Upa and Bora, exchanging pleasantries with them. He reveals why he's there with them, allowing him access to Korin's tower. So Goku began climbing up Korin's tower to begin his training. He'd make it up there where he trains with Korin, trying to get the water from the cat sensei. This means that while the Red Ribbon Army arc transpires, Goku would be in the midst of his training. I think Goku would finish said training around the time Colonel Yellow appears and kidnaps Upa. This means he can save the boy even easier than what he did in canon. As a thank you, Bora decides to treat Goku to a meal, which he is grateful for. The time taken to eat allows Tao Pai Pai to show up and kill Bora. Angered by this, Goku attacks Tao Pai Pai. Since he's already had his Korin training, this fight is a lot like the second fight they originally had. So the end result is Tao Pai Pai accidentally blowing himself up. Again, Goku misses another crucial loss, which will only fuel his ego going forward. Being the kind-hearted guy he is, Goku agrees to revive Bora. He takes the 4-star ball and leaves on Kinto-un. His first location would be West City, since he needs to get the radar. Bulma never had an issue of not being able to ride the cloud, so she can't go with him since she doesn't make the shrinking device. This means Goku will be traveling alone. First is Jingle Village, where Goku has to scale Muscle Tower. That goes even quicker and Goku collects the Dragon Ball. Then Goku returns to Kame House to get the submarine. While there, Goku tells Roshi about how he defeated Tao Pai Pai, which shocks the Turtle Hermit. He feels some pride, but is even more worried now that Goku may get a big head. After Krillin returns to the submarine, he decides to tag along to help Goku with his task. They arrive at the pirate base with General Blue tailing them. The traps are easily avoided by both boys, and the pirate robot is easily destroyed. So whenever Blue inevitably catches up, he'd need to fight stronger versions of the duo. It's safe to say that he isn't making it out of there, with Goku using the Kamehameha to kill him. Both boys then collect the Dragon Ball and escape. Krillin would be rattled, so he'd return home, but Goku decides to take on the Red Ribbon Army base. Again, Goku wins and dismantles the army. Let's take a moment to look into our Goku's mindset. The strongest people he's fought, being Jackie Chan and Tao, both lost to him. He also dismantled an entire army, pretty much single-handedly, so he isn't exactly feeling humble at the moment. So when the need for the tournament against Barba's fighters arrives, Goku to tell the others that he doesn't need them. He can sweep without any of their help. Yamcha should protest, but quickly realizes that Goku is right. So Goku would be the only fighter against Barba's 4 warriors. Instead of wasting time on the fights, I think it's pretty clear that Goku would win, so let's just skip over it. They'd locate the final Dragon Ball, and use Shenron to revive Bora. Then Goku would leave to continue his training, with everyone promising to meet at the 22nd Tenkaichi. Over the time skip, a few things would occur. Goku's cocky attitude would slowly begin to amplify during the course of his training. Every important fight he's won, so naturally he believed he's the pinnacle of strength. Because of this, Goku would neglect brushing up on his martial arts in favor of increasing his raw strength. Over at Kame House, Roshi would fear this to be the case. Recognizing the need to defeat Goku, he'd increase his training regimen to allow for better gains for himself. He'd also begin training Yamcha to make them all stronger. After explaining it to help Goku, Chi-Chi would also be training with him. Roshi would come clean about the Jackie Chan persona and tells them that they need to work together to beat him. They understand, and all head to the tournament with that in mind. At the tournament, everyone would then reunite with Goku. It's clear that Goku isn't that much different personality-wise, only when it comes to discussing his strength. For example, when Goku reveals he ran from the other side of the world to get here, he'd be bragging that it was an easy feat for him. Nothing too crazy, but it isn't a good mindset to have. When they run into the Crane School, Goku would be more cocky here, especially after learning about their connection to Tao. This means that Tenshinhan would hold a grudge against Goku off the bat, as opposed to holding one against Yamcha. Chaozu would then proceed with the tournament bracket rigging. Tenshinhan wants to fight Goku immediately, but knows that isn't a good idea, so he decides to watch what he can do and fight him the next round. Tenshinhan partners himself up with Pamput, and Goku against Krillin. This way you can watch how he fights and can eliminate Turtle students easier. As for the others, he places Yamcha against Chaozu and Chi-Chi against Jackie Chun. After Tenshinhan easily wins his fight, Goku and Krillin step into the arena. They fight a lot like in canon since they're both stronger. It's clear to everyone that Goku's attacks are more sloppy though. Despite that, Krillin is still unable to power through to defeat him. Both boys would still be rather happy at their fight though. Then Chaozu fights Yamcha. I don't think Yamcha is smart enough to come up with confusing Chaozu in maths. Even though he's stronger, he's unable to throw around the weight and is defeated by the Crane School student. He does come out of the fight in a much better condition than his canonical self though, so that's a W. Capping off round 1 is Jackie Chun against Chi-Chi. The fight would be pretty brief, and obviously Chi-Chi loses, but it fills Jackie Chun with some pride to see how far his student has come. She'd also use the Kamehameha solely to impress Goku, which it would. Before the next fight, Roshi would approach Tenshinhan. He reveals his identity to the Triclops, which he initially believes is a ploy to get him to go easy on the student. Roshi tells him that it isn't the case though. Goku is his son, and even though he shows a lot of promise, his strength has proven his downfall, so he asks Tenshinhan to give him a good fight without any dirty tricks. Revitalize his love for martial arts once more. Ten asks why he should listen, with Roshi revealing he can tell he isn't that bad of a guy. This just makes Tenshinhan scoff though. In the fight, Tenshinhan and Goku fight a lot like canon. Goku is stronger than Ten here, but the Ten's technical prowess lets him get the better of him quite often. It's clear that Goku is getting slightly annoyed at the various techniques Tenshinhan deploys, believing them to be cheap tricks. So Goku's attacks become blinded by rage, making him easier to read. Goku begins charging a Kamehameha, placing lots of energy into it. Everyone who can feel Ki can tell that this attack will kill, shouting to Goku to stop. Ten realizes this as well, and begins to panic a little. If the attack hits, it will kill and he can't deflect it. He can't truly be serious. Goku releases the attack, making Tenshinhan leap backwards to avoid it. It hits him hard, but he avoids the majority of the damage, falling from the arena in the process. Goku would be cheering and bragging, but his friends all tell him that wasn't cool. They'd all be checking up on Tenshinhan and making sure he's okay, which he shockingly is. This makes Goku feel kinda betrayed, but nonetheless he'd keep it bold. Jackie Chun would go on to defeat Chaozu with relative ease, leading to the final round. For the final match, Jackie Chun removes his disguise, telling Goku that the announcer let him tag in for Jackie Chun. Goku tells Roshi has been waiting to beat him for a while now, smiling playfully. Roshi is disappointed though. He tells Goku that he's lost what it means to be a martial artist. He shouldn't fight to win or to beat his opponent, he should fight to better himself. It's hard for the monkey boy to understand. When the fight begins, the duo rush each other. Roshi will be on the defensive, parrying blows from Goku with relative ease. This annoys Goku as he tells Roshi to stop playing around. Roshi continues dodging before striking Goku in several pressure points. He seizes up temporarily, but is quickly back up and ready to fight. To prove a point, Roshi decides to go all out. He begins charging up, shaking the stands as his power rises. His body bulks up as he enters buff form, making him tower over his adopted child. While Goku is still confident, he quickly realizes that he's outmatched. Roshi is stronger than him and has the skill to back it up, making him truly a terrifying opponent to face. Any underhanded tactic Goku tries doesn't work, making him pretty frustrated. This is the first time his strength hasn't been enough. It's not fair, he should be on top. He will be on top. Goku charges up a Kamehameha with Roshi doing the same, leading to a beam struggle. Unfortunately though, the Turtle Hermit's beam is stronger, carrying Goku out of the arena. Roshi tells Goku the lesson about how there'll always be someone stronger, but that falls on deaf ears. Feeling frustrated and embarrassed at his first actual loss, Goku runs away to go be alone. Being close to him, both Chi-Chi and Krillin begin trying to find Goku. They don't find him, but instead they do find Tambourine. The rest of the gang find Krillin on the verge of death, with Chi-Chi's dead body nearby. It'd fallen Chaozu and Yamcha to deal with the creature, since Roshi and Ten are both exhausted. Together, they successfully killed Tambourine. Roshi would then realize that the threat of King Piccolo has once again returned, which is where we're going to leave off part 2. If you're enjoying this series, why not hit the like button and support the channel and let me know you want to see another part. And why not subscribe while you're at it to see more content like this. And yeah, bye!